As part of our 100th episode extravaganza, I'm going to bring in Tobi Altizer, who has seen a lot of change over these 100 shows. He moved.
I did.
Across the country to Washington, D.C.
Officially part of the DMV. I know I claimed it when I was in Milwaukee. I didn't grow up in the DMV. I grew up in Virginia. Not part of the DMV, though.
Nobody knows enough about the area to question you.
Well, that's why I did it. So I felt like I could do that. I can't do that now.
It's like when I go overseas, which I never do, I say, oh, I'm from Chicago.
Oh, you say that? No.
No, I say no. It's a real American thing to say. I'm from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, to like a German. They don't know what Wisconsin is.
What Fond du Lac means.
Fond du Lac, and there is Matt in the Falls.
Hello.
And for a 100th episode, Matt, you've had a big impact on this show.
Wow. It means a lot.
The green screen, the ring light.
So this is all courtesy of him. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, Matt.
You missed that. You missed that whole thing. That was a monumental.
Well done, Matt. Makes him look good.
Yep. Well,
yeah.
The short version is that he's given us so many hours of free radio entertainment. I thought that $75 worth of equipment was a fair exchange.
Yeah,
that's nice. That's nice.
And now Matt's Fortnite buddy just keeps flooding money on my YouTube lives.
It's true,
which is really awesome. So
he's a generous guy.
Thank you. So no for the next couple of weeks. Paul's on assignment. So Matt in the Falls stepped up and said, you know what, I'll guest host. And I thought that was a very good idea. As the sugar daddy of the show, I thought I would totally allow him to do that. We're not going to call it because Paul's got copyrights on that. So we'll just call it oh yeah or oh no. I don't know what the questions are. I trust that Matt came up with some good ones.
We'll see.
So, God. All right, Matt, take it away.
All right, here we go. Rumors are swirling around the NBA trade market, and the latest one suggests the Milwaukee Bucks would trade the package of Jordan Nwora, George Hill, and second-round draft pick considerations to the Phoenix Suns for none other than Jae Crowder. Should the Bucks make that move? Oh, yeah? Or oh, no?
Now, we're recording this on Tuesday. I'm putting this out on Thursday. So, what if he gets traded by then? Should I just cut this or leave it in?
Oh, leave it in.
Oh, you can just leave it in.
Leave it in.
Because then we'll either you'll know how we feel regardless of what really happens. We're set in stone.
So to that trade package, I would have to say, oh yeah, because that's nothing. Nwora has not contributed like he should. Ibaka, like all of a sudden, just came to work one day and said, "I hate this. Everyone here. I don't know what's going on there." And then George Hill can still give you some meaningful minutes in the regular season, but in the playoffs we saw last year, he disappeared. Nobody cares about the picks. So Jae Crowder, I would think, can be more helpful than that package. Can be helpful. I'm still not, like I said yesterday, I think a very Bart thing I realized is a lot of times my argument is, it's okay if you do that. Just don't do that like this. It's okay if you think that. Just like I'm always like judging the level of how people perceive something or want something. 6 months of Jae Crowder lusting is too much. It's Jae Crowder.
Yeah.
And I don't want to dip into the Grayson Allen pool. I don't want to. There's a proposed trade I read the other day from Dan Favale that included Joe Ingles and Marshawn Beauchamp. I don't want to trade these guys. But if that's the trade package, I'll say, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go right along with that. I mean, if you're not giving up anyone meaningful, the only guy that you mentioned in there that actually plays for the Bucks at this point, it seems like, is George Hill. And I could live without seeing George Hill ever again in a Bucks uniform. Like, he's been nice. He's helped out at points, but he's not helping out anymore. And like Bart said, come playoff time, you going to trust him with minutes like you did last year? I think we saw how that went. So I don't think I'm going to give up anything in George Hill. The other players, I mean, Jordan Nwora, I can't stand watching him in a Bucks uniform. He just doesn't fit anymore. It doesn't seem like. So getting rid of him is fine. And then, like you said, second round picks. So as long as you don't have to give up more than that for the time being, I'd absolutely do it. Now, if you had to include someone like a Grayson Allen to do like a 3-team deal, then you'd have to think about it. But the deal that you laid out, Matt, absolutely. Oh, yeah, I'm doing that.
And now, Matt, you get the answer.
Well, I do agree. I'm always hesitant just because I think Jae Crowder is declining. I was looking at his numbers, shot under 40% from the field last year when he did play, and now he's holding out. So I don't like that kind of attitude for our Bucks. I think our team is better than that. We have higher morale, that sort of thing. Nobody would hold out for us.
But I thought there were chemistry issues.
Oh yeah, Bobby Portis and Giannis are just they're in the doghouse with each other. But
is the Serge thing really from that video where Serge was on a cooking show? He was doing his cooking show, and I think he was doing it with Drew.
Yeah.
And they called Giannis, and Giannis said, "You're just a role player. You just set screens."
I could see that actually being a thing.
He hasn't played since that.
That's hilarious, though.
Serge is, if you're sore about not playing at all and somebody says that, somebody like Giannis that has pull and that people are going to listen to and laugh at, then he could get pretty butthurt about that. I mean,
he also woke Giannis up from his nap, and we all know you don't do that. So
yeah, you can't wake Giannis up from naps.
He's got to rest. He's got to rest that knee. And if you get in the way of that, then look out.
All right. Well, by the time we post this, Jae Crowder's probably a Buck. So.
Well, the trade deadline isn't until next week, so I think we've got a little bit of leeway here.
Yeah, Jay's like, yeah, trade me to Milwaukee, but I actually don't want to play, so just wait till the deadline, and then I'll need 2 months to recoup, and then the playoffs just play me a little bit, and then I'll play against the Suns.
Yeah,
and
the way I see
15 threes and miss them all.
Yeah, he's taking George Hill's minutes in the playoffs, which would be minuscule as is, hopefully. So I'm yeah.
All right.
Next question.
Good first question.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We are 2 weeks away from pitchers and catchers. After trading away their best player in the heat of a division race, the Brewers were abandoned by David Stearns like baby Moses in the River Nile. Despite some bright spots, the 2023 Brewers appear to leave much to be desired. This is the least excited you've been for the Brewers in recent memory. Oh, yeah? Or oh, no?
Well, recent memory. I'll say,
after the bites of the apple thing, and just like, just those three things: the Hader trade, the bites of the apple, and Stearns leaving. Like, we're not going up. We're in the wrong direction. It looks like, and I don't like it. But go ahead.
What's recent memory? Like, what's the time frame?
Like since we were in the playoff hunt like 10 years ago when we went to the NLCS against the Cardinals.
Then I would actually say, oh no. There was 1 year where I was even less excited. I think it was 2016. So the Brewers in 2014, that was the first year I started at the Fan. And like right away, Sparky's like, hey, come do a post-game show with me. And they were playing the Dodgers. And Jimmy Nelson outdueled Clayton Kershaw. And we were like, oh, my God, it was August. Brewers were in a good position. They free-falled at the end of 2014. Then 2015, they sucked. And then 2016, what did they do in 2015? 2015, they were 68-94. And then so 2016, they had a bad year. And I thought, and I brought this to the big show. They let me host the big show. And I'm still a little unknown and whatever. So I had the topic, is it fair to take a year off from watching your favorite team, comma, should I root for the Cubs this season instead? Now, Cubs won the World Series that year, so I should have rooted for them. That period, like at the end of Renicky and when they were first bringing in Counsell, that was pretty bad. But I think this year, like, I'm not excited. Like that year I wasn't excited because they were going to suck. This year I'm not excited because they're going to be the same as they were the last 5 years. And worse. Like, I'm sorry. I see people online doing this. I can't be like, well, if Jesse Winkler gets back to his all-star year and if Brian Anderson plays like he did 4 years ago.
Well, here, I'll take it from here for you, Bart, because I would say, oh, yeah, because when I think about it, we put in so much effort last year, whether you were trying to talk yourself into the Brewers or try to make excuses for them or talking yourself out of how good they were. And I was one of the leading charges at the station. Like, I think this Brewers team is good. And then they just trade Josh Hader and the bottom falls out. Like, if anything, it's not that I'm not excited. It's that I don't want to have to put in effort to plead for the Brewers again. Because like you said, Bart, they're the exact same. So it's already starting, like you said, oh, well, if Jesse Winkler can be this guy that we thought he once was, or Brian Anderson can be the prospect, or if we can do this or this and that. And it's like you're trying to put scenarios together that everything has to go perfect. And if one little thing out of 100 goes wrong, then the Brewers are right back where they were last year and missing the playoffs. I just can't put myself through that again. It's not that I'm not excited. You know, once baseball season comes around, I'm going to watch all these teams. I'm excited about baseball being back. So it's not that I'm not excited about the Brewers, but I don't want to have to go through all this again this year like we did last year. So I would say, oh, yeah, I'm not excited about really seeing the Brewers this year. I mean, maybe they'll surprise us, maybe because it seems like the expectations going into this year got dropped a little bit compared to last year. But even so, I'm not like thrilled to see the Brewers this year.
Well, and it's been like that. It's been for the last, few years. It's been the Brewers can be good if 4 of these guys have one of their best years ever. I remember doing that with if Jesus Aguilar can do this, if Omar Narvaez can do this. And yeah, but there's at some point there's just too many ifs. Like it's not like, all right, Brewers are good. And if Keston Hiura figures it out, they're going to be great. No, it's Brewers are fine. If 9, it's too many guys. So the level of excitement is not there. Like I'm excited for baseball every night. I'm excited to maybe take my kid to a couple games, but I don't think there's any chance like they're winning anything. Maybe they get in as a wild card. But see, now we have low expectations. So if they win 95 games, it's going to be the funnest season ever. Matt?
I mean, that's that's pretty much saying it all right there. I mean, you can kind of see how I feel based on the question. My excitement is quite low, but I'll go out. We're going to take our 4-year-old. She'll be 5. We're going to take her to her first game, so we got that going on. But as far as the team goes, I mean, if they make the playoffs, I'll be shocked, and I think there's a very low chance of that. So we'll enjoy the ballpark a few times, and that's about it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Or, oh no. There's no better place to stock up your freezer than with Omaha Steaks.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. OmahaSteaks.com. So, again, this is what they do. You can go to OmahaSteaks.com. You can, fill in packages. You can get a couple of filet mignons. You can get some chicken breasts. You can do all that. If you want to do that, fine. They'll let you. And then it's like the normal pricing or whatever. But they have pre-designed packages that basically have everything you want in them, like the freezer fill up, or they got some special ones for Valentine's Day coming up. So when you go to one of those packages, you're getting all this meat that you wanted anyway, with the jumbo franks and all that stuff. The apple tartlet's very good. You get all that stuff. Check out one of the packages, then put in my promo code BART, B-A-R-T, $30 then off additional to the savings you're getting in the first place. So go to omahasteaks.com. The promo code is BART, B-A-R-T. You do it at checkout. Look at Omaha Steaks right by Matt's head on YouTube. Other way.
Nice.
Yeah, omahasteaks.com. And I got that as well. omahasteaks.com Code Bart at checkout. Do you know it's not just steak? It's the best steak of your life. Guaranteed. OmahaSteaks.com. We got our package.
Yeah, did you cook some of that up?
I did.
Any good?
It was.
Best steak of your life?
Guaranteed.
Of course.
And you're going to start to see on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at Wingstings if you want to see the meals that I claim to make that my wife actually cooked. OmahaSteaks.com. Matt, question number 3.
The University of Wisconsin men's basketball program has been dusty and stale for too long. They should can Greg Gard after this season and bring in a spicy young success story like Luke Fickell is for the football team. Oh yeah, or oh no.
Toby, you want to go first? You already answered.
I don't know that they should fire Gard. Like I think Gard is pretty boring, but it depends on who you're bringing in. Like it's a pretty obvious one with football. If you can bring in a Luke Fickell over Paul Christ, you do it, and you've already seen the difference that can make. But who are you bringing in for basketball? Like, are you stealing someone from another school? Like, what are we doing here? So I'd have to have a contingency plan in place before I'd say fire Gard. Because, I mean, Gard just took you last year from a team that wasn't supposed to be anything to winning the Big Ten. So I think you got to be a little bit careful there. So I would say, oh no, right now I wouldn't fire Gard. But if you had a contingency plan or you had something set up that you could bring somebody else in that's a solid head coach, then absolutely I'd do that.
Well, they're now in danger of missing the tournament, and they're losing a bunch of games in a row.
I that's true, but like, who do they have on that basketball team? Like, you can say Chucky Hepburn, and Chucky's good, but he's a point guard. He needs other people around him.
Yeah, no, they're no good. And now in college, that's part of the job is you got to recruit these guys.
Yeah.
And sometimes you recruit guys and they just end up sucking, like Graham Mertz.
Well, I feel like this year's more of an indictment on Greg Gard, the recruiter, than Greg Gard, the coach.
But those things are going to go hand in hand.
Yeah.
And so he maybe not gets, you might get fired for being a bad recruiter, but he's always been like a decent recruiter. That's kind of been what they liked about him.
I mean, let's not forget the number 10 overall pick went to Wisconsin last year, and we've seen so much of him in the NBA that we just know that Wisconsin provides quality NBA talent.
Yeah, what's the deal with Johnny Davis?
He barely even plays for the G League team.
Yeah, like anyone could have saw that coming.
I don't know, but everyone hates that pick. So if you're wondering,
I don't think you should fire Gard.
No.
I think what's happening is too many people are looking at the football program and saying, oh, let's do it for that. When there's no like obvious choice, you're not going to get a rush of transfers to come in like you did football.
Well, I feel like for football, correct me if I'm wrong here, but like obviously this past year was a down year, but the year before that was a little bit of a disappointment. Like it's been a couple years of disappointment for the football program in a row where you're like, well, maybe Chris isn't the guy. Like you just had a year last year with the basketball team where they overachieved, and this year they've disappointed. I don't think you can just halfway through a year that they've been disappointing for the first time in a little while, just can Greg Gard out of the blue.
Well, people have wanted to fire Greg Gard since he got that job anyway. Anytime the Badgers lose 2 games in a row, fans want to fire him.
Yeah.
I mean, the Badger, I don't know. Sometimes Badgers fans act like their program is Duke or North Carolina or Kentucky. And it's not. So you're going to eat your Greg Gard and you're going to like it.
Yeah, I have very little opinion on this. Not much of a Badgers guy. I just needed questions, so I wanted to make one up about the Badgers. I say go for it. Why not make things more entertaining? I can't name a single player on the Badgers right now.
I know a guy that should go over there. Bart Lundy.
Hey,
No.
well, yeah, I think.
Or keep him in Milwaukee.
Well, so Bart Lundy is a 2-time guest on my show now.
Friend of show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, if he goes to Wisconsin, then I'd have an in at Wisconsin.
Yeah, there you go.
Courtside at the Kohl Center.
There you go.
And both our names are Bart.
Oh,
People
I know who they should
Your
get to
brothers.
go coach the Wisconsin Badgers.
Hmm.
Mike Budenholzer.
Jesus.
That'd solve 2 of your
Wow.
problems there, Bart. No more Mike
That,
Budenholzer with the Bucks.
that is in
and
honor of, for our 100th episode, that's in honor of Tim Shea. That kind of hot take.
The John Gruden hot take. Wow.
All right. Oh, yeah, or oh, no. Matt, I'm very impressed.
Thanks. All right. Question 4 of 5.
It
Former
really
Dallas.
makes me think that any idiot could do a podcast. What do I think I'm so special for?
I don't know. This is nothing. Former Dallas Cowboys offensive coordinator Kellen Moore was hired for the same role by the San Diego Chargers yesterday afternoon, less than 24 hours after being jettisoned from Jerry World. Going from Dak Prescott and the Cowboys to Justin Herbert and the Chargers is actually a promotion for Kellen Moore. Oh, yeah. Or, oh, no.
I think this is good for the Chargers. Because Brandon Staley sucks. So he needs to not have anything to do with the offense. Because isn't he a defensive guy?
Yeah, he's a defensive guy. He was the defensive coordinator with the Rams before he got hired over there.
I think they should just like make him the defensive coordinator. And, you know, he's the head coach, so let him call timeouts and stuff. But he's shitty at that too.
Yeah, I don't think Staley's a very good head coach. Like, I think you can get by because of the success of the team, but I don't think he's very good. I think Kellen Moore going over there, though, is 100% an upgrade because you get rid of the pressure of being in Dallas with the star and Jerry Jones and will Mike McCarthy be here next year? Will I maybe get promoted? Are they bringing in Sean Payton? You get rid of all of that. And now you get to call plays for Justin Herbert and an offense
And maybe
that has
take over
weapons.
for Staley.
Yeah, and eventually maybe you do get promoted to that head coaching job. Like essentially, you were already being talked about as a head coaching candidate over the last couple of cycles in Dallas. Now you get an upgraded quarterback, and so you can do a lot of the things that you did with Dak Prescott with a much better talent in Justin Herbert, and you have Keenan Allen, you've got Mike Williams, you've got Austin Eckler, you've got a lot of talent over there in LA. So I think 100%, oh yeah, a huge upgrade for Kellen Moore.
I think another thing is Kellen Moore is going to get less TV time. And that might be good. Because if you're watching the Cowboys, every time they have a bad play, they show Kellen Moore. The Chargers, they're going to show him maybe once a game. Nobody cares about who the Chargers offensive coordinator is.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good move for him. Yes. Oh, yeah.
I agree. I think he was the designer of that spectacular play that ended the Cowboys season with Ezekiel Elliott at center where he just got pancaked immediately. And I think it's just there's something comical about that guy getting picked up instantly. And it just says something about the nepotism of the NFL and how if you recently had a job, you're just like automatically qualified or, well, I mean, you're qualified obviously, but you're just going to get picked up right away because, this guy knows, he just had this job. We don't have to tell him how to do it or anything. He'll just step in and do it. And I wish that they took more chances in the NFL, but, hired people like Matt LaFleur, a young offensive coordinator, and look how that's gone. But hey, wait.
Well, they took a chance on Jeff Saturday.
Oh,
But he was like Thursday's
class.
like best friend.
Well, and you spoke of nepotism. The guy they fired out of that role was Joe Lombardi. So
They should just take it like a refresh year where they're like, all right, whoever gets hired this year as a coach can't know a single person in the NFL.
Okay, hold on.
Bring some
I
high
guess
school.
I gotta ask you
Bring
both
high
this.
school coaches. High school football is like the pinnacle of life anyway, is what I'm told.
Yeah.
If you got fired from a head coaching gig or a gig where you just got paid and you're guaranteed to make like 5 or 6 million over the next couple of years without doing anything, are you going back into coaching? Because I sure as heck would not. Like Nathaniel Hackett gets fired and he's still going to get a paycheck from the Broncos, I'd be sitting at home.
They want more.
Yeah, why do you want to go work?
They want more.
Like, come on, you're going to pay me $5 million to sit at home and literally not do anything? I'd take that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, it's not like he wakes up contemplating every day if he should go door dashing or not. Which I think I really might get back at it today.
Hey, why not?
Well, it's so cold this week.
That's true. You get more
I can
tips.
make some money.
Tips, hopefully.
I just don't want anyone to see me.
Just bundle up.
Just drive
Don't
by
wear your
and throw
Milwaukee
that
Pro
thing out the
Soccer
window.
hat. Wear like a Trump hat and then a mask, and nobody will know it's you.
Well, I can't wear both. I'd have to wear a ski mask, not a COVID.
Hey, you never know. You get an American flag one with an eagle on it. Meet the middle.
Yeah. All right. I do have a snowblow mask I could wear.
That'll work.
I'm gonna actually go get it now and put it on.
I hope you do. Giannis Antetokounmpo recently told Eric Name of The Athletic that he believes he is currently at 80% of his peak ability. Is that possible? And if, oh yeah, how many more championships should he be expected to lead the Bucks to, assuming he reaches that 100% in his mind?
Tobi, you answer first. I'm gonna go get this mask.
Let's see. If I were saying that he was at 80%, I mean, what's the other 20% that he can improve? Being an effective jump shooter, being a real, I don't know, like 3-point threat. If you were a turnover, I don't know what part of his game we can really improve by 20% other than the jump shot. So I would say that he's maybe, I mean, I'm not going to disagree with Giannis, but just from the observer's eye, I'd say he's closer to 90 to 95% complete. Because if he adds an effective jumper, which I don't know that he's ever going to be, a real 3-point threat or a real jump shot threat. So I don't think that that's ever going to be the case. But if this is true that he's 20% able to improve, then you'd think he's got to win at least 2 more in Milwaukee. But I don't know that that's going to happen either. So I would say
I'm here with your DoorDash delivery from Mad Chicken.
I would say, oh no, I don't feel like Giannis can.
I noticed you didn't leave me a tip.
20%, but we'll see.
You might want to reconsider how much you tipped me before I give you this chicken. Yeah, I could run around in this today if I DoorDash.
Yeah.
Fire up the app.
It's not scary.
I can't do it in the summertime.
Why not?
Well, I look like a ninja.
A ninja of sorts.
Well,
that sells it. Yep, there you go.
Though they just have to look a few little bit south and realize you're not a ninja.
Giannis has more to give.
Well, how much more? Like 20%, if he's at 80%, math guy here, that'd be improving by 25% of what he already is. Like, true. It's not like he's, you get that 80%, 20% improving by
25% of 80 is 20.
Like
80 plus 20 is 100.
He's got the ability to drive. He's got good handles. He's got good defense. He's a good playmaker. The only thing that really holds him back still is a jump shot. So unless he's adding a jump shot that is Steph Curry-like, then sure, he can improve by 20, 30, 40% if he added that, but that's not happening.
Well, maybe some of it isn't in his control. Maybe some of it is like how he's officiated.
Sure.
Maybe some of it is, if like he didn't have these guys that went cold all the time, his assist numbers would skyrocket.
Well, and maybe he's talking about the fact that if he were able to shoot 85% from the free throw line, that maybe that's a big improvement for him. I don't know.
The way he the other night, Sunday night, just like nonchalantly was like, I need 50. I'll just make 2 threes.
That was amazing.
That was amazing. It was amazing. And so if he can, like, I was going to say if he could be Steph Curry from 3, he's not going to be. I mean, you just hope that he's anybody decent from 3. But that would, if he's a 35% 3-point shooter,
yeah,
that changes a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I think there are other, ways he could shave stuff. Like he could drop his turnovers by a quarter. He could, increase his offensive rebounding by a quarter or something like that. Just little stuff that you might not think of in terms of like, oh, a 3-point shot. That's something huge. But I think maybe he's thinking of little stuff that he can do to, spice things up or cut down on the little mistakes.
Well, the
And
question
I can see that.
I have with that is if he improves his 3-point shot to become effective, and that's what he's really working on. I don't want it to change Giannis, though. I don't want it to change the way he plays. I want him still driving downhill at the bucket all game long, as opposed to just getting to the 3-point line and pulling up on a consistent basis. Because I think part of the thing that makes Giannis so effective is, I don't want to bring this comparison in because people have already compared him to it, like Celtics fans, but it's like a running back going through and wearing down a defense. Like at some point in the third and fourth quarter, you're sick of standing in there and Giannis going through your chest and dunking the ball or getting a layup at the rim. So I think part of Giannis's effectiveness is his consistency in playing a physical game. And if he decides that he's going to now start pulling up from three, then I think that takes a little bit away. But at the same point, you look at a guy like Michael Jordan, and the older he got, he lost a little bit of that physical edge that he had. So he had to evolve into a little bit more of a jump shooter. And we're getting to a point in Giannis's career where it's not going to happen in the next 2 to 3 years, I wouldn't think. But you look 4 and 5 and 6 years down the road, and Giannis probably does need to evolve into a little more of a jump shooter because at some point in his career, this physicality is going to take a toll on him, and he needs to add that jump shot.
Couldn't agree more.
That was 5.
Yep, that's all I have today.
Oh yeah, or oh no.
Oh yeah, or
the
oh
Bart
no.
Winkler Show podcast to get to 100 episodes.
What an honor to be featured on the 100th episode.
You think I'd flamed out before 100?
I don't know. The real test
sure
is now after Packers season.
Well, if you thought I was going to get to 100, that either means like I was dedicated and did it, or I wasn't going to get another radio job. But I have another radio job.
Yeah.
I'm on the radio.
Yeah. You're famous.
On Saturday on 100 stations. Like that counts, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Do you have another one scheduled?
After that?
In the future. Is there a future one scheduled at this point?
No.
Okay.
They
Just
like
wondering.
do what I did with
Wondering.
Tobi. Like text me randomly, like, I need you right this second.
Oh. Hey, they got you.
That's what they do with me. I need you immediately.
Hey, I'm at your beckoning call, Bart.
Will I make it another 100?
Yes.
Probably. What is that? 20
4 or
weeks?
5 months?
Talking Brewers
So
baseball every day.
Middle of March.
You know what?
Live Brewers bitching every night after the games.
Yeah, it's a bad time of year, but if I could double.
No, you
the
look like a
listener base.
French soldier.
Oui.
Before you put your armor on, getting ready for battle in 1412.
If I could double my listenership,
Wow.
I could. So everybody tell one friend about the show.
What if I have 3 friends and they already all listen to it?
Tell them to tell 3 friends.
Yeah.
Should I tell
That's
people
9.
all around the DMV about the Bart Winkler Show so they
I
can
have
get
billboard.
educated on Wisconsin sports?
I mean, we listen to a DMV guy talk Wisconsin sports here, so
Yeah. Checks out.
Matt, thank you.
Yep.
Real good stuff.
Thanks for having me.
You've earned
Been a
another
pleasure.
opportunity.
Oh, wow. Too bad Tim Shade wasn't here to see this. He
Yeah.
thought it would be terrible, but
Yeah, you really
it was
stepped
all right.
up.
It was all right. I'm not saying it was amazing, but, I tried.
Well, you
That's all
can't
I
set
can
the
do.
bar too high your first time.
Yeah, I like the Charger question. It was kind of tested our knowledge a little bit. I like that.
Yeah, I didn't want to keep it all local. Wanted to, pull in something recent.
I
Saw
like
that
it.
news cross
Well, we
the
like
board.
to talk sports here. That's the whole reason why we're doing this.
Yeah, well, we could bring a singer-songwriter in and spice things up and just have them play a few songs with their acoustic guitar. But, we got better things to do.
Thanks,
See you boys
guys.
later.
See ya.